This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to do a video and just talk a little bit about the Illuminati card game from the perspective of what's going on right now. And by that, I mean what agendas, which are foreshadowed in this card game, are we seeing going on in the world around us, specifically here in the United States of America. For those of you who don't know, the card game really reveals a lot of the plans that the New World Order has. I personally, everybody has their own opinion on the game. I believe the game is just a form of sigil magic, a way for them to reveal these things and operate it in a spell casting type of way, as crazy as that sounds. What they do is they reveal themselves, and through doing that, it enhances the magic or the power of their craft and of the spell, which if the spells that they're trying to cast revolve around the feminist movement and some of these other things, then this is the type of stuff that would enhance the power of those spells. And yes, I know, it's weird even saying stuff like that and talking like that, but that is the truth behind it. That is how they work. Now remember, they use card games for magic all the time. They have the tarot cards, the Magic, the Gathering card game. Okay, these are all things that are used in witchcraft. There's different levels and powers behind it. Obviously, Magic, the card game, is more of an indoctrination for kids, whereas the tarot reading and all that stuff is a little bit deeper down the satanic rabbit hole. But nonetheless, I always want to show some of the stuff going on now. So if you're not familiar with the game, obviously, most of you are. We've seen with the specific cards of predictive program, which I'll just show, which I'm not going to say for the sake of the algorithm. But let's look at what's going on right now in the world. Obviously, we've seen, this is the most common one, right? But this is one that's been going on for a long time. And that is the gun control card, right? We just saw some events occur around the United States of America in the last couple of months. Las Vegas, we just saw it on Valentine's Day. Gun control is always a big one. So that's not it's not too much of a, oh, wow, what a shock. But here are some other ones that just prove that these are agendas, really, that are out there, that have been out there, that they want out there. I thought this one was pretty funny, the fact that they even have this censorship card. Now, we all know that they're censoring all of us, whether it's me with uploading videos or you guys out there trying to speak on social media. Like I said before, I know a lot of you have Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. You're getting blocked from talking. And, that is something that is obviously going to continue to go on. And then, of course, the political correctness card, which is exactly what this is about, right? Everybody has to act politically correct. And that's kind of what you see with Facebook and social media. Everybody acts politically correct. It's almost like when a tragic event happens, like I know this because people tell me this stuff. And I mean, I laugh. They send me screenshots. An event could happen in, Florida or somewhere, and somebody you went to high school with in Maine or wherever, California, will post a statement saying, thoughts and prayers going out to them. We really need to do, and you're just like, what is this person doing? They're regurgitating pretty much what they would hear a celebrity say or the news say. Everybody thinks that their own PR person, and everybody does everything they can to be politically correct. And it's getting worse and worse. What this really is about is censorship of free speech. Because the more politically correct everybody is, the more on board they are with the agendas that they want, which means if you're not speaking kindness and love and you're going against anything, then you're not politically correct. You're a hater and you're, declaring hate speech on people. So I thought that card was pretty interesting. And that's something obviously that we're seeing going on right now. You get the feminist card, right? I mean, people really actually want to believe that this feminist movement that they've conjured up is something to be inspired about, that it wasn't force-fed, that all these women just came forward in the same month of the same year accusing all these big bad bullies in Hollywood of this stuff, and we got to hear about it day in and day out. This is all part of divide and conquer, breaking up families. The feminist movement is completely toxic. You could see that this was more predictive program. Of course, we get the LGBT, which has been going on for a while. This isn't anything new. This now mixed, of course, with the trans, which is just another thing that the media, is shoving down our throats. You get school prayer is a card, and that's something we're seeing played right now. Now, a lot of you will say, huh? Where are they praying in schools? Well, I've recently even covered this. There are still some schools in the Bible Belt that do pray, that will have morning prayer. That's the way that it should be. But, at the same time, you could say, well, the kids shouldn't be in the school anyway, where they pray or not, because they're just learning nothing but lies all day. But CNN did an article. A lot of other media outlets came out saying how, it's not comfortable for these other students and how they feel picked on and bigoted against. And they need the complete removal of school prayer. And it's pretty much already completely gone, but there are still some schools out there. And we're seeing that in 2018 because they're talking about it more and more as, oh, these poor children, this is the kind of stuff that could cause mental illness or, make them depressed because, it's not fair that they're reading this prayer at the beginning of the day. It's weird. It's not normal. If we read one prayer from the Bible, then we should have them, a Muslim should be allowed to read a prayer. A Buddhist should be allowed to, a Satanist should be allowed to go up and do a spell. I mean, it's insanity how they, get this stuff across, but they do. Another one, of course, which has calmed down in a sense, but we have the white supremacists and the black activists, the Black Lives Matters. These are things that have obviously been documented and predicted in these card games, which are all part of their plan, right? There's nothing that should be shocking to anyone. We have the March on Washington card. Now, we know that there's a march coming up in a few weeks, which is about gun control. We know that they had the feminist march on Washington last year, right? A lot of these agendas that they want, they're bringing to Washington with these marches, and the gullible zombies out there are eating it up. They love it. So that's a pretty interesting one. Then you got the Center for Disease Control, which is more geared towards what we're seeing with this massive flu thing that they keep talking about, because they want to make sure everybody's panicking and getting their flu shots, right? So they're telling you that hundreds of people are dying all over the place. There's like no evidence of anything. There's nothing to back up. There's no doctors out here saying why all of a sudden are people dying from the flu at this kind of it's just, listen, it's happening. It's a weird thing. Get your flu shot. Get your flu shot. So that's a huge thing going on that they're still pushing, which is another common one, which has been going on for a long time. This card I thought was interesting, the hit and run, right? Because I've been talking about that a lot, the hit and run, where we've seen all these, acts of terror where people are driving cars into people, which is really about getting their 5G technology put across so that we can have driverless cars all over the place. And people start looking at cars as a weapon. Yes, it's true. As crazy as it sounds, people are using cars as a weapon. Let's get everybody in a driverless car. The death rate will go down. There won't be any accidents. All this stuff they'll convince people of. So they have this hit and run card. This has been a plan, obviously. This is pretty much total control. That's what that comes down to. It's total control. I mean, if you think about it, once you get to that point where you're getting in a car and you're letting a robot drive you around, what more free you can't, there's no free speech. There's no, you can't drive anywhere on your own. You got to, the microchip will be in people. It's insane how fast this is all going down. Another one is the upheaval card, right? Because we're seeing an uprise, which is ironic because the title of my channel, but we're literally seeing the left versus the right, men versus women, black versus white. We're seeing division amongst everything possible. Everyone is turned upon each other. This is all part of, right? Police versus the people. And this is all obviously stuff that leads to a military state. And it leads to a lot of other things as well. We have the media blitz card, which is something that's going on, right? Media blitz. Somebody say, what do you mean by media blitz? Well, you could see the TVs and the images on there with the pyramid, right? How often now are we hearing them talk about the Illuminati, from Taco Bell to Pizza Hut to fake news, pushing this stuff, talking about these, actors, wink, wink, you know what I'm referring to, using all these terms that we use. The media has pretty much hijacked all of it. And now they're trying to take those words and turn them into trigger words. So from Illuminati right on down, using words now like fake news instead of conspiracy theorists. You got Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, all these guys constantly talking about it. They're constantly monitoring what we're saying and doing, and then bringing it up on the news because they're so scared of the fact that we're waking people up. So the media blitz has gotten absolutely out of control in 2018 and 2017. It's pretty insane when you think about how much stuff has really gone on in the last year or two. you know? And then, of course, we have the hurricane card, weaponizing weather. The hurricanes from Florida to Texas last year, which just destroyed so much land and property. And, of course, we had a cyclone recently, which I don't know if it did as much damage as they expected or maybe they hoped it would. But this is more just weaponized weather, which is always, in their plans anyway. It's not something that's, just something that's occurring now in 2018. But these other ones really are ones that are amped up right now. Feminist movement, political correctness, censorship, right? The media blitz, the media getting involved now, the upheaval of people, the vaccinations and the center, with this flu thing going on, the marches, the March on Washington we have in a couple of weeks, right? We have the LGBT stuff. Another one, too, that's in there is professional sports. Look how professional sports has suddenly become political, in a sense, which isn't even real because politics are fake. But you have athletes taking a knee, right? Swaying people's emotions politically, telling you, this is the right thing to do. Like we care about LeBron James or, giving an Oscar to Kobe Bryant. I mean, huh? Really? Right? You don't think that stuff's deliberate? They want to enhance the power of the celebrity of the professional athlete because they have influence over specifically males. So they're using professional sports as well as they're using Hollywood to push these false idols, to push all these agendas that I'm speaking about. Feminism, gay activism, which is, the trans agenda and the LGBT stuff. All right? So this is all stuff that's going on. I just wanted to cover it. I was just looking at some of the 2018 cards and things like that. I wanted to see which ones were going on. Or, I wanted to see what ones just even in the past are currently occurring and keep you updated on those things because these are all things that are part of the plan. This isn't me just pulling rabbits out of a hole here, or out of a hat, as they say, right? This is stuff that they've had planned for a while, and they use sigil magic like this or however, whatever you want to call the type of magic that they use when they reveal their hand beforehand, which they do all the time. That's why, you saw that stuff. I can't even say the event. I'm not even going to say it, but that's why you see a lot of the predictive programming before a lot of these events happen. So this is just some of the things going on in today's world. Scary to think that we're in 2018 and people have gotten dumber and there's less people critically thinking. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.